Today's been a day. Nothing too exciting, but I feel worn out still. But I couldn't resist the urge to make another one of these. Ever since yesterday when I started making these, I've been kind of thinking about like what to talk about. Earlier today I uploaded one and I was thinking like, man, there's a lot that I forgot to talk about. I know I deviated a lot during my little telling you about my roots and my just everything. The video wasn't meant to like have so many side. Hi kitty. There's a cat. Isn't that nice? So what the fuck was I saying? God damn it, cat dude. That's Chuck. Chuck. What are you doing, pal? And then Sam's out here sometimes too. A lot of the time, actually. Ever since we moved here. He's just been out here. He loves it. And there's a lot of stuff I forgot in that last video. And I know I mostly spoke about school stuff. Other things are like I started with developmental things, but then it kind of like once I started fixating on school in that video, the video just became about school. And then in 8th grade this happened, and then in 9th grade this happened. So I grew up with 2 younger brothers. I grew up with my mother and father. They later split when I was 17, 2007, or excuse me, 18 when I was in 2008. But I had them both in my childhood. I grew up kind of like lower middle class. We were well off. We made it. My father worked on the railroad. He made big money. Although I didn't really have a excuse me, like I said earlier, I'm sick, kinda. I really felt it today, during the day. I had more of a relationship with my mom than my dad. Just to kind of touch on everything, kind of a continuation of earlier's video. I had only been awake for about an hour after recording that, so there's stuff I forgot. Yeah, oldest of 3. My brothers we were born in 90, 93, and 94, so we're all pretty close. And then we're also close in like, in other ways. We get along. They used to fight. There used to be like holes in the walls and doors knocked down and doors slamming and fists and kicks or punches and kicks and fists and feet flying. And I don't know. I never, not to say I never fought my brothers, but it wasn't nearly as, they were adversaries. My relationship with my mom, I've always been able to talk to my mom about just about everything. I said in earlier videos that, like, I think I touched on that I had a hard time getting thoughts out. I wasn't very vocal. And then even when I was talking, I got frustrated really quick. And I remember kind of often referring to her as my translator. I'd kind of like tell her beforehand, like let's say I'm going to like a school meeting or something. I'm meeting with my teachers to talk about something. I'd be like to her, you know, I'd do that to her and be like, okay. And my parents weren't super strict on me. Like, you know, like, I'm not saying that they were totally, you know, spineless with their approach of raising me. Of course, they did excellent, I like to think. And but I do thank them for, you know, letting me be friends with certain people that, you know, maybe were questionable. They gave them a chance. They gave a lot of my friends that they gave them a lot of chances. A lot of girls I took home with like weird piercings and hair and stuff. You know, they gave everybody a chance. I mentioned that my parents were religious, but you know, that was never really forced upon me. I had to go to church up until I was about 16 or 17. I was actually kind of given a choice not to go. I don't know. To finish with my mom was great, or my mom is to this day great. She's helped me with a lot of stuff. I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. That thing I just said about, like, you know, her being my translator or stuff or something. You know, you gotta understand, I was a nervous kid. I was constantly on edge and just like, ooh, who's out to get me? And what if I say the wrong thing? And so, growing up, I had a lot of people tell me that I was being coddled, which maybe in some regards I was. I don't think I was really. Hey, look, a cat. I don't see it as coddling though. If anybody understood her and I's relationship, then they would know that it's not coddling. It never really was. Anybody who calls it coddling, their mother didn't love them. I'll just say that. My father, my father's a tricky one to tackle. I used to think, I don't know. I thought my dad was just the coolest, even though I never really saw him a whole lot. I don't know if I should disclose what his job was. He still works there. Sorry, I'm fucking parched. Long day. And my dad, he him and I really didn't see eye to eye to a whole lot. And his job required him to be out of town for weeks. And I'd see him about every 2 or 3 weeks, and he'd be home for a weekend, and then he'd go again. And this is as long as I can remember. I I don't have any early I don't have any like like those like toddler memories. I don't have any toddler memories of my dad. I he just wasn't, I don't know. And I'm not saying this to put him down or anything. He wasn't a scumfuck. He was a great provider. He's taught me many things. He's taught me many things, and like I just somebody I really wanted to get to know. And I see a lot of myself in him. Just sometimes the way I react to things, I'm like, that's how my dad would react. My sorry, I'm listening to conversations that are going around here. I just moved here, so I'm still kind of like getting used to all the sounds around me, and I'm easily distracted. So, Dad. My parents had me when they were 19 and 21, I think. 19 and 22, really young. My mom was 19 or 20. She was super young. That's really young. And oh, we're slowing down, huh? Come on. I gotta get that little hamster wheel of a brain of mine to go again. I'm frazzled. My dad, he would always, not always, but like he'd try to like get into the things that I was into. I was very much into Pokemon when I was a kid. He tried getting into the cards a little bit. We would play that. There were TV shows that we would watch. There were book series that we would read together. But I didn't see him a whole lot. So, but it still was kind of a tradition that we'd like, sometimes we'd watch this show. I forget what show it was. And it was some sci-fi show that the name's escaping me. And we, so we had things that we tried to do. I tried to get into hunting. He was big into hunting and trapping. He was big into sports and sports cards. Those things I couldn't quite get behind. I figured I'd still try because he put forth the effort to get into fucking Pokemon. And Magic the Gathering. It's another thing I was big into. I still kind of dabble in it. So it wasn't like there was never an effort put forth from either of us. It was like he could be easygoing. He was, at times he was strict, very disciplinary. Other times he was very, come on, let's have fun dad. And I don't know. I had good parents growing up. My brothers, one of them was the middle child. The next one, so it was me, and then the next kid. Kind of a bookworm. Big into classical music, if I remember right. He was a big history buff, still is to this day. Sports cards, along with my father. So fun fact, most little kids will have the little toy that you push the button, and it says the chicken goes, the cow goes, Oh, I shit you not, he had a toy. I don't even know if it was intended for kids, but he had a toy with all, up until George Clinton. He had all the presidents, or Bill Clinton, excuse me. Wow, George Clinton, the best of both worlds, right? So, fuck was I saying? But he had a toy with all the presidents, and you pushed it, and it told you his the president in question's term limits, and a little factoid about them. Instead of the cow goes moo. That was great. Even at a young age, I was like, that kid's smarter than me. That's scary. Big into classical music. He listened to Tchaikovsky. Back then, I kind of thought he was a little nerd for listening to that, but looking back, I kind of envy it, having that kind of such an early interest in art and culture like that. And then, so he was kind of timid in some of the ways I was. He Him and I got along. Both my brothers. I got along with both my brothers. And then the next one, the youngest of us three, he was a little tornado. He was like the little Tasmanian devil, just spiraling around, always covered in dirt. There was about a year of his life where he just ate a bunch of bugs. He just I don't know. I wasn't really. Maybe it's just normal boy stuff, but like I wasn't really a normal boy, I guess, and it's weird coming from when you yourself don't do normal boy stuff, and then you got another brother that doesn't do normal boy stuff, and then you got one that does. So it just kind of registers as, oh, that's weird. When in all actuality, I'm sure most boys have eaten bugs. He was very much a clown, very sweet, very very emotional, very I don't know, like I kind of feel like out of both my brothers, he was the one that really tried to emulate me the most. He looked up to both his brothers, but like I said, he was kind of adversarial with my other brother, which left me as kind of like the pure one, kind of the one to look up to, which I recognized pretty early on. I tried to do well in front of him. So yeah, that's my family. I don't know. I've met cousins on both sides of my family. I've met aunts and uncles. I'm not too familiar with my father's side. I've met them, but I couldn't tell you any of my cousins' names. I don't. They're kind of country folk. They're kind of. I don't know. Nothing wrong with it. It's just different. My mother's side, my mother's side, very. I guess both sides of my family are pretty right-wing religious, churchy people. My mom's side, more kind of higher up on the social ladder. I had in some ways easier to talk to because they kind of grew up somewhat similar to me, but in other ways probably more difficult than my father's side because they grew up kind of super strict, kind of like more strict than me in many senses, like to the point where I couldn't even relate. And yeah, and when you got someone like that, you don't know what to say around them. You want to be respectful, but like at the same time, you also want to be yourself. And and for that reason, I don't really talk to either side of my extended family. I have an uncle on my mom's side that I sometimes see. That's about it. But I don't know. Just some stuff I was meaning to say in my last video, but didn't. So this is kind of random. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. I never in 20 years would have thought that I'd hear that this is a big controversy. The Little fucking Mermaid, dude. The Little Mermaid. Household name movie now turned into a racial tension. And I just usually when I hear when I listen to debates and controversies and whatever, or not controversies, but like whenever I hear someone go like, I think things should be this way, another person going, I think things should be this way, I'm usually able to hear both and be like, okay, that part of what you're saying is right. I don't like that. That part of what you're saying, I'm able to kind of discern and not really pick a side, but just kind of like hear everybody out and be like, maybe I side with one or the other at some point, but like most of the time I try to be like, okay, you shut up. You talk first. Okay. Point. You talk. Okay. Note, point taken. So I try to like hear everybody out. This is one that I just don't get on the other side of it. Now, was The Little Mermaid's whiteness or gingerness ever a pivotal like plot device in the original? Because that's what this whole thing is about, right? I forget the girl's name. The new girl, I mean. And I don't really, I guess I'm having trouble kind of like, and I thought about it at work again today. It's a topic I've been thinking about, and I don't know why. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid that it's like, why is this even a thing? And I even feel stupid about talking about it. It's been going on for a few weeks. Figured I'd say it. That's what these videos are for sometimes. Sometimes I'm going to be telling you my story. Sometimes I'm going to be telling you my opinion. Deal with it. Somebody in my driveway? Oh my God. Help. I'm kidding. No one's here. But like, so the whole thing is, from what I've understand on the other side of the issue, is The Little Mermaid's white in the original. We can't deviate from that. Because that's how I remember her. Okay? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. My original question still stands. Was The Little Mermaid's whiteness or gingerness ever a pivotal plot device in the movie, in the original movie. I've seen people get upset that they are blackwashing white people in movie roles, and then also this one was especially funny was redheaded people are upset that their roles are being taken over by other hair colors. So now it's a racial thing and a hair color thing. I haven't seen the original Little Mermaid in about 20 years, so maybe I'm forgetting that one scene where it is a crucial part of the story. Maybe I'm forgetting that one scene where it's like Little Mermaid's red hair saves everybody, or her skin color saves everybody. I don't fucking know. Oh, I popped. I'm not the target audience for this movie, clearly. But if I cared, all I would care about is if this actress did well or not. I hope she does well. I'm sure she will. I don't know. Disney does, even their mediocre films are passable. They have a good track record. As much as you're going to hear me rip on Disney a few times in the future. By the way, Disney's kind of the villain in my life. One of the many villains in my life. So you're going to hear me rip on them sometimes. But I will give them that, like, even their worst movies are like, that was okay. Yeah, I would just want her to be a good actress, basically. I don't really care what color somebody is. Just who gives a shit? Her skin color's not a big deal in the fucking movie. It never was in the original. It doesn't. No one gives a shit. Is role diversity forced in Hollywood? Kinda, but at the same time, I don't really see the harm in it. White actors aren't really going anywhere anytime soon, I feel. Oh, I saw an article. Let me find it. There's an article that I saw. It was fucking bizarre. It was in defense. It was, hold on, excuse me. It was a big reason why the Little Mermaid can't be black. And they're gonna, this article tells you scientifically why it can't happen. I'll read it, since it's kind of glaring. People are trying to justify their racism by using mermaid science to claim how Disney's Ariel cannot be black. Mermaid science. What? What? No, you got to get into it a little bit. Some people are so adamant that the actor should be white. They're trying to, in fact, some people are so adamant that the actor should be white that they're trying to use science to support their arguments about the mythological creature. According to mermaid science, the half-human, half-fish creatures are white because they live underwater and have less melanin, resulting in a lighter skin color. Mermaid science. So their argument is they claim that mermaids are white because something about how there's less sunlight reaching the bottom of the ocean, therefore mermaids would have less melanin. Hey, I got some mermaid science for you too. Mermaids aren't fucking real. There's no science behind them. They're pretend. And we can pretend that they are of any design. Still reading this article, by the way, as I'm talking. A point I thought about earlier is, do you know how many variations of fairies there are? Pixies, leprechauns, elves. Dragons are the same way. There's so many variations and depictions of those too, culturally. Like, leprechauns are just Irish fairies. So where's your fairy science to tell me how fairies should be? Where's your fairy science? I fucked up my hair, dude. So, I don't know. Just thinking about stuff. Some of these people are racist. I've seen the nasty posts. I've seen the nasty tweets. I've seen the nasty memes. Most of these people... Let's think. Most of these people just can't stand to see things change, though, I feel. And I'm the same way at times. They think this is the way things were when I was a kid, and this is how they always should be. This is how my daddy did it, and it's how his daddy's daddy did it. Either for nostalgic reasons or stubbornness or both. I don't know. I don't really see the harm in this film's casting choice. I don't give a shit. The only part of it I give a shit about, that it's worth talking about, is the fact that the arguments are either, well, I don't want it to change, or mermaid science. That's, or just fuck black people. Like, that's like, those are the three things I keep hearing. Those are the three reasons why we should not cast a black girl in a movie, I guess. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I don't really see the harm in this movie's film casting choice. I don't give a shit. I'm done with remakes and Disney, and I'm probably not going to see this. I don't really have a horse in this race. The only horse I have is just like, why is there a horse? Why is there even a horse race? You know, like, why is this even a... The only side I'm taking is, why do I have to pick a side? If I did care about this movie, all I would ask is that the actress do well. I'm sure she will. She's cute. I don't require her to be white or major in mermaid science. Those boxes don't need to be ticked for me. I don't... Ridiculous. Anyway, back to my family. My family's great. I don't know. I don't really see them much anymore. I don't really see my brothers very much. I haven't spoken to my... This is a thing I forgot to mention. I haven't spoken to my father in about 3 years. It's hard to talk about, honestly. It's hard to switch gears after railing on fucking weird people that like are obsessed with like children's movies and the race of the character in it. Like, I don't know. My father. I don't know what words to use. My father's done and said some things to me that have made me question whether or not I should associate myself with him, though. As much as I really wanted to get to know him, I will forever be grateful for all that he's given, but I don't know. He said some horrible things and accused me of some shit. He placed a lot of blame on me for my for their divorce. That I'm I don't know, like trying to split them up or something, and here I am going through, 30 other fucking things that he doesn't give a shit about. So, and maybe that'll be another video. I feel like, I don't know. My father's one of those things where it's like, I really don't want to say bad things, but I do have some negative criticisms. Or, I have some negative comments, some criticisms, negative criticisms. I do have some things to say, but like, I've always been kind of like ashamed to say it because, like, he may not have been around, but he was still, there in other ways. Kind of behind the scenes parenting in the form of money and stuff. So he said some pretty hurtful things. When my parents divorced, I feel like both my parents got a lot more bearable. My mother used to be, not to speak ill of anybody, but my mother used to be very over emotional and very, you weren't sure what you were gonna do or say that was gonna like make her cry or yell or something. She got a lot better after that divorce. My father remarried instantly after the divorce, and I think he's a lot better now. I haven't seen him in 3 years. I haven't seen him in 4 years. I haven't talked to him in 3 years. Excuse me. I was 2016, and I don't know. He'd always shit talk my mom. Oh yeah, that dumb bitch. Just like, and I got tired of hearing it. Like, like I heard this all throughout my teen years about how horrible my mom was. You've broken up with her. Like, either don't invite me over here, or if you invite me over here, don't fucking spew that shit. I don't give a shit. It's over. You guys agreed on a settlement plan, on a child support plan. You guys agreed on that. That plan was actually his idea. His signature's on it. Anyway, and then he complains about it. It was your idea. I don't know. So, I don't know. I could get into this, but I don't know. And then he lives in Anchorage. I just moved to Wasilla. One of my brothers lives in Wasilla. My other brother lives in Anchorage. So we're kind of split up. My mom lives in Wasilla also. So hopefully now that I moved back, I can see my brother more. I don't know what else to say. So, yeah. Let's talk about you. How are you? How are you? Yeah, you. How the fuck are you? We're only like 3 videos in. I feel like I don't know you. Ooh. Oh, there's doggos nearby. You hear the puppy? That's not my puppy. Sam! Sam! There's a big guy. Sam, come here. Oh, there's my puppy. This is Sam. He's a lab mastiff. He just turned 2. He's a big baby. He's my big toddler. This is Sam. I call him Sam Burglar. Because he steals stuff and leaves it in the backyard. You a big puppy? Yeah, you're a big dog. He just looks like a big black mass on this camera, huh? He's probably not going to really like show. There he is. There he is, you're a big boy. So, yeah. Closing thoughts. I don't know. My family's great. There have been problems within it, but you know, whose fucking family doesn't? The Little Mermaid thing, I guess. One more thing I have to add is that like, The Little Mermaid was 30 years ago. The audience now is 30 years older. They're not children anymore. If someone past 30 still needs race to identify with a children's cartoon character, I don't know what to say for them. And like, another thing I've heard is that it's like her blackwashing is the term I keep seeing. That's ridiculous. So blackwashing, I've heard people say like, oh, but it's a marketing ploy, because you know, casting minorities is a marketing ploy now, I guess. Is it a marketing ploy? I don't even know how to answer that. Like, it's just allowing more people to work. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't really give a shit what color someone is. So I guess I don't. But that's one I hear is like, it's a marketing ploy. Well, okay. Well, if it is a marketing ploy, again, I don't really see the harm in it. It's a marketing ploy that like what benefits people. I don't. The only harm that's coming of it, like the only harm that's coming of it is the triggering of a lot of people's weird obsession with race and children's cartoons that they've outgrown. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say for this world anymore. If something so mundane as this is turning people into melting snowflakes. Like, and you know what's going to happen? This movie's going to be released. Sam's cute, by the way. This movie's going to be released. And then it's going to do well because it's fucking Disney. Disney can do no wrong. Even if Disney was in the wrong in this situation for some reason, for some weird reason, even if this was objectively wrong to cast a black girl in a fucking movie, even if it was wrong, Disney's still gonna come out on top. And you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna move on to the next fucking controversy. You guys remember the fucking Ghostbusters movie? Anybody talking about that anymore? That's all that was in my goddamn timeline on fucking Facebook and Insta shit and whatever. Sam's cute, by the way. I don't know if I've said that 7 times, but he's really big. And there he is. Sammy, what are you doing? Are you a big baby? Are you a really big kid? Are you my puppy? Sam, I just realized we should recast you as a white dog. Yeah. Whatever. Fucking people, man. So yeah. Alright, assholes. End transmission.